Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Let It Die. So, this episode is going to be focusing on taking on Red Napalm normal mode and talking a bit about Red Napalm fight strategy for the higher difficulties also. Now, giving White Steel that stab in the last episode, realizing a little poke almost killed the poor guy, I figured even the damage dealt to the lower floors, or what am I saying, lower difficulty forcemen is not really necessarily having to be substantial, you know. They don't take much to kill, I'll put it that way. So I'm on my collector class, gonna take a more laid-back approach to the fight of Red Napalm. I guess the gear I use also isn't even that important. Now, Red Napalm does a really good amount of armor breakage, so I'm just gonna take... Oh really? Psycho Madness? I didn't have that yet? Oh, okay. Cool. Anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna buy a weak armor, but not too weak. A strong enough armor to be able to deal with the hazards on the floors. So yeah, I guess Apocalyptic rank 2 should do. Where's that thing? There it is. It's pretty cool looking armor as well. And what else have we got here? Something to deal with all the enemies. Tier 2 Camus, why not? World of Tanks or the normal one? Really doesn't make a difference. They're both good enough. There we go. Anything else we've got? Nothing really. So, Red Napalm, I won't be able to show off the hard mode or nightmare mode strategy, because that strategy, I mean, the most conventional way of dealing with Red Napalm, or at least the initial way of dealing with Red Napalm, dealt with having a strong blunt weapon, fully upgraded, and blasting her in the face with rage moves of the Bowling Crusher. Specifically, Bowling Crusher is a blunt damage type weapon, and its rage move is very damaging. You throw bowling balls from the weapon and they explode on contact. They travel along a line on the ground, and they detonate when coming into contact with the first obstacle. Now, if you look at the floor here, there's a bunch of elevations, and the floor is not completely even. The line at which the bowling ball travels is a straight line. Coming into contact with anything, it will detonate. So, aiming for that pillar, for instance, if you're lucky, you shoot the rage move, the bowling stomper, it travels along this line, boom, explodes here. If you're not lucky, this little elevation here will already cause the bowling ball to detonate. Any serious elevation, like a staircase, the bowling ball will detonate when it comes to the edge of the staircase. It doesn't travel, I mean, it doesn't stop at the edge of the staircase, go down the staircase. It travels in a straight line. Like here, for instance, the bowling stomper, bowling crusher weapon will probably detonate here because it comes into contact with. Long story short, bowling crusher Red Napalm strategy, very unreliable at a distance. It's best to stand right up in her grill and attack her with it, because any little rock or pebble which is lying in your way will often detonate the bowling ball prematurely and do no damage to Red Napalm, and you know, cause your life to turn into a living hell. What do we got here? I'd like some decent physical weapons. Deal with haters, thank you very much. Have I got poison? Yeah, I have poison. Good enough. Anything else? Yeah, you will do. And why not one of you? So I got a bunch of executioner rides. I could level them up further, but then my striker would not be able to use them because of stamina cost. But my collector would definitely be able to use them, because collectors have a stupid amount of stamina. I definitely have to get rid of some of these items I've got on me. A lot of them are near breaking. Pointless. Might as well sell them and get some kill coins out of it.
It's you. Thanks.
Save me from myself, shopkeeper. I'm wasting time again.
Thanks.
Actually, I've got the kill coins. Might as well purchase a fresh poison weapon. What have you got available? Tier 2 Iron Claw. Doesn't do enough damage to one-shot poison haters, so I'm going to go ahead and buy the spiked bat. Aiming for something that can poison the enemy in one hit. I'm also going to purchase a Longsword S and a Dragonbuster Sword S for the next fight coming up, Black Thunder, after this episode. After a word from our sponsors. Here we go. Install you guys. We're not going to be using on this fighter. The hockey set really does look cool. I'm glad I chose it as my new Let's Play armor that I'll be using for the rest of Let's Play. I've always appreciated it. It's been one of my favorite sets for a while. It actually is also quite cost effective. Like, it's got a lot of defense for its low purchase value at tier 3. Much appreciate this set. Equip you, and the aim here is to be able to defeat everything in one hit. The decals are irrelevant. The ones I'm wearing, don't pay attention to all this. This is not at all representative of the decals I'd recommend for the Red Napalm hard or nightmare difficulty. Take out a life shroom because I don't even have plenty of life shrooms anymore. I've got a couple of pill bugs. I guess I'll be looking for pill bugs at the Red Napalm. Oh yeah, I was gonna test if the grilled snail shroom was a removable buff on Red Napalm. How many of these do I have? The Transparangus. I want to bring a buff that is considered a necessary removable buff for Red Napalm. Alright, and the grilled oak shroom might as well. It's a waste, but birds are not necessarily rare. Here we go. I'll show off a little bit of buffage on Red Napalm. Here we go. Okay, I think we're good to go. And we're off again to floor God knows where. Red Napalm, normal mode. I see. So normal Red Napalm is on Fuga da Koro, approached from Kamoto. Honestly, Kamoto is a large floor. I would recommend heading there from Makatsutsumi. Makatsutsumi is a short floor, a good place to stock up on beasts, and the one enemy to find there, other than the boss, is a hater. Good kill coin collection. Go down to Shimano Meno, up to Nokojiri, up to Fuga, blah 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 blah. So, floor 11, here we come. Makatsutsumi, mutant hamster. Gonna ignore him and go straight for a Red Napalm. This will be, I'll show her off in one attempt. I won't be doing 2 tries. Last time was because I've already got a build which vaguely resembled what will be white steel, I guess, white steel farming meta still. Unless I'm mistaken, there might be a much easier way of farming white steel, but as I mentioned last episode, if you're overgeared, you can farm white steel using multiple strategies, because he really is the runt of the litter, and he was here early. His difficulty is not necessarily end game. Woohoo! This is Candyland. I'm seeing a lot of useful mushrooms that I'm running out of and that I need. And every one I pick up is another reminder. Finish that damn season quest before the season ends. I will be angry at myself if I forget to finish this mushroom pickup quest before the season ends. Might as well go ahead and cook these guys while we're here. Save a little time later. And of course, if we need to use them in a pinch, they will be their strongest version. Screw you. Anything else important? I guess. I'll take you. I never thought I would run out of life shrooms on this account, but I guess I've been using quite a few lately. Only really want one Frongus. Umbrella Rib? I'd have to check. I think I've already got too many of those. So the game keeps track of how many of a specific item you have in your storage. We've got 0 Umbrella Rib Fungus. However, we have 16 grilled Umbrella Rib Fungus in the storage chest. So I'm gonna keep this here. I've got more than enough Umbrella Rib Fungus, I believe. I don't like using it as much as the cat's eye. So 15 or 16 is more than enough for whatever I'd use it. Probably red napalm, as I said earlier. Red napalm really requires some strong shrooms to deal with. Down we go. Into the abyss. Well, someone's having fun. Alright. Deal with this guy, and this is a tier 3 Kamas. I mean, not necessarily dangerous or deadly, but armor breakage, unfortunately. Don't like going up against Kamas, guys. Kill your durability. Very mean haters. Alright, already found the right route. Off we go. Yeah, this probably is faster than going to floor 12 or 13 to get to Red Napalm normal. Though, you really don't... you don't really need to go to that floor very often, Red Napalm normal. Mainly for this one quest for death metal. In fact, by the look of it, you may be able to take on the normal mode Forcemen much earlier. I guess I completely overestimated them, especially White Steel. I could have got that death metal much sooner in the Let's Play. I'm guessing maybe even 3-star fighter if I did my best. If I had a really good decal setup. Maybe. Maybe it's not that weak, but definitely 4-star. 4-star would probably have been enough to take him out on normal mode. But whatever, I'm eventually getting the death metal, so not all that much. The Kamas is my favorite screamer killing weapon, by the way, if you hadn't noticed. Really effective at dealing with the fodder. More umbrella rib. No thanks. Like, if only I had the umbrella rib collection quest. Aluminium can. Piece of broken copper. I don't know, man. I don't know what my what the condition is of the War Ensemble resources that I've got. Actually, I've got to start picking up the pace. Wasting time. Oh jeez, whatever. I really just want to not get hit by armor breakage things, if I can help it. Come on then. There we go. Yeah, don't want to get hit by Kamas, shotgun, fire damage, none of that bullshit. Okay, so Fuga do Gerro will be somewhere close by. No, not this way. Komoto. I guess if you're lucky from Komoto, the escalator to Nokijiri will be right next to the elevator. But if you're unlucky, it'll be on the other side of the floor, making you work for your, making you work for it. Okay, here it is. Fuga de Kuru. Red Napalm normal. So I'll be showing off our moveset. I'm expecting the armor I'm wearing to be a waste of kill coins and completely get disintegrated, because Red Napalm is probably the most armor killing Forceman besides White Steel out there. White Steel's a non-issue though, because he is quite farmable, quite easy to farm using the Dragon Buster Sword S counter bull strategy. Okay, so this is where the real Let It Die starts. The thing is, here, certain buffs get removed when you go into the fight. I'm gonna see what I can all do. Okay, so I'm wearing a Life Shroom buff. I've got another grilled Life Shroom. What else can I buff up with? I guess I'll buff up with this, one of these. Note the buffs we're wearing. I'm gonna go into the fights. And I'll talk about the fight when we get in there. But from this point onwards, they'll start removing buffs. Not in normal mode. It says it here. It lets you know. The first battle for free, as usual, on every difficulty once a day. Please note, Hard and Nightmare mode will cancel prior mushroom doping effects. I can't show this off, but basically Uncle Def's arm is stuck in this machine, and it's wielding a space gun which has the ability to blast off your mushroom buffs. So you can't pre-buff for any fight after White Steel. White Steel is the only fight you can pre-buff for. Red Napalm and beyond, will you do it? He didn't do it, no, so I can't show that off. But, you know, after he takes your cash in the higher difficulties, an arm will stick out and shoot the buffs off you with a space cannon. Let It Die top 10 waifus. Cool. Alright. So our mushroom effects didn't get removed for normal mode, but even the live stream buff we have on us now will get removed for any higher difficulty. The main thing to note in this fight, step 1, Red Napalm, get behind a pillar as soon as possible. That's the buff removing bubble. She doesn't do much damage on normal mode, as you can see. Laughable damage. But she does all kinds of different attacks. The weapon she wields is a rotating cannon which has all kinds of little weapons attached to it. It's got a machine gun, a shotgun, a knife throwing crossbow, I guess a knifey bow launcher. It's got a fireworks launcher, a rocket launcher. The rocket launcher, grenade launcher and knife launchers are the most deadly. The knife will come out really quickly and it looks insignificant, but it will do really nasty damage to you. Looks like after a certain amount of time scenery will get destroyed. What I do know for certain is based on her own health percentage, scenery gets destroyed. When you take her down to like half health or so, this pillar here will be destroyed. I'm not 100% sure exactly how much health. That was the knife that just flew by and hit us. 3 knives in a row. Bubble. You can guard against the bubble. Okay, I'm gonna buff up a little bit and show the buff removing feature. Om nom nom. Don't know if that one gets removed. Okay, it's removed. You can tell the buff is gone off us. OG Sting Shroom is a buff that gets removed. Red Sting Shroom is a buff that remains. You can keep this buff. So you can use this to increase your damage in the fight because she doesn't use her purple buff removing bubble. Life Shroom, as you can tell it's still on us, is not a buff that gets removed during the fight. The Bird Shroom, Oak Shroom, is a buff that she will try to remove, I think. Is it not? Or is it? She's not trying to remove it. Oh. Nope, apparently it doesn't get removed in normal mode. In hard mode and nightmare mode, it does. Is allowed to remain on you. That would be a serious oversight. Okay, so this is what happens when you're out of time on the fight. I really wish they weren't with time, because quite often you'll lose just because you're out of time. Indeedy doodle. Okay.
That's too bad. Sometimes such decisions are necessary, though. I understand.
Is it true? Well, I didn't manage to show off everything I wanted to show off during the fight. So the strategy with Red Napalm fight is a hit and run strategy using cover to hide from her devastating attacks. She didn't use her rage move during this fight, but she has a rage move that she'll use, which is a sustained laser, which goes zone wide, and she can turn her gun slowly as she's shooting the rage move laser, so you can kind of circle around her while sprinting to dodge the laser. Here you see the recovery costs dying on a Forceman fight is 0, which is quite nice. Time is running a bit low for this episode, so I may just continue just talking about the fight a little bit in closing. But yeah, a lot of her attacks are, you know, she has spread damage with the shotgun, the machine gun, so you do take quite a bit of armor breakage during the fight. The most devastating attacks, as I mentioned, the grenade launcher, rocket launcher, knife launcher. In fact, in hard and nightmare modes, you can have some really strong tier 4 armor upgraded, and you can walk into the fight. If you get hit by the knife, you will quite often see a whole health bar get just taken away from you. That thing does a stupid amount of damage. It might be one of her most damaging attacks, the knife shot. And it really just looks like a regular bullet, but it's got a bit more shine to it, I guess. And you can usually tell it's the knife because it's just like, none of her attacks is a single bullet. If she uses the machine gun, it's a 3-shot barrage. So yeah, if you see a single shot hit you ever so softly and you lose your life stream buff, you know you got hit by the bad attack, the knife. You hit and run strat, hide behind the pillars. Well, I don't know why I'm really dedicating so much time talking about it. I've got hard and nightmare kill videos all over my channel. In fact, I've got a progression series on every Forceman on my main, well, killed on my main account, defeated on my main account. I've got playlists for showing better and better at the fights as I do them more frequently and farm the Forceman out on a weekly basis. And it is also how I recommend farming the Forceman, because a lot of them take, you know, some kill well, they take a kill coin costs, a cost to your gear, a cost to your weapons, armor. You have to repurchase armor and weapons preparing for the fight. You have to collect the right mushrooms to help with the fight. Some beneficial mushrooms for the Red Napalm fight I recommend to farm to take her on hard and nightmare modes would be the Red Sting Shroom. Have a bunch of those. Life Shrooms, of course. Barb Meat half portion, Barb Meat full portion, or the Golden Snail, the Golden Beasts in general. On Golden Beast Day can be farm up a bunch of Golden Snails for full heals. Traverse Candle Wolf Zone, or if you're at end game, traverse the 40 to 50 floor brackets to collect Cat's Eye Shroom, because the slow strategy on Red Napalm is, I think, the most viable strategy when you're getting into the fight for the first time to take her on. And yeah, using the Bowling Crusher Rage Move Spam strategy, you'll slow down time or go invisible and she'll just stand there and take your attacks. And after taking a bit of damage, she'll turn invisible. I didn't get to show off during this fight her invisible phase. The scenery breaks depending on time taken on the fight. Apparently in normal mode. I think in hard mode it doesn't break depending on time, but it will break depending on her health percentage. So bringing her down to certain percentage healths will have the scenery disintegrate. Having in the end only one pillar remaining, taking her below 30% health will remove all of your scenery where you can hide behind, and then it comes more into a what do you call it, damage check, a damage test. It's finish her off quickly or die trying at the final stage of the fight. Anything I forgot to mention? Her turning invisible, I didn't get to show it off. When she turns invisible, you kind of stay behind scenery and like every now and then and try and dodge it as well, just to find her position. Where the what do you call that? Artillery? Where the fodder, where the bullets, where the whatever she's shooting at you originates from, that's where her position is. So you try and figure out her position, you eat another slow shroom, invis shroom, and then go in for the next attack and hit enough damage on her while she's invisible, she turns visible again and stunned, and then you can get on some more damage. That's going to be it for the video. Not enough time to go over everything, unfortunately. Red Napalm, here you go. Next episode, Black Thunder. See you guys next time.